what? 5 o'clock on the nose. You said it
5
for
o'clock
good
on the
luck,
nose.
baby.
That's good
Go
luck.
here, rock.
It's
Well,
and you know the saying, it's 5 o'clock somewhere right here,
ooh.
right now. Cheers to you.
Cheers, brother. I had this ass Pepsi Nitro can. No beer for me today. So you enjoy that 5 o'clock somewhere, man. I wish, because this was terrible. Okay. Nitro Pepsi,
What
smooth,
is
creamy
Nitro
drink.
Pepsi? What is Nitro
Smooth,
Pepsi?
creamy, easy to drink. I picked it up from the gas station. Let me tell you, this is just flat Pepsi in a can, honestly. It's supposed to be like smaller bubbles, so it's easier to enjoy. It was so bad, I got a McDonald's Coca-Cola to wash it down.
Oh, great. You got a McDonald's Coca-Cola to wash down your Pepsi.
The
Bad sign for
Nitro
Pepsi
Pepsi.
Nitro. Bad sign for Pepsi Nitro. I'm a Coke person, not a Pepsi person. No offense to Pepsi, but it's just the inferior product, right?
By far, bro. So that's why I said, look at this sleek design. I was like, look, I should get a beer. I was like, I don't want to get a 12-pack from the gas station. We are wildly overpriced. So I was like, let me get this little cool can, Terrible, terrible choice, Spencer. It was
Terrible.
absolutely awful. Okay. And I immediately whipped around and said, I'm gonna get a McDonald's little Coca-Cola and wash this bad boy down. And then I'm just drinking water at home because screw that. I wish I'd paid $20 for 12 beers at the gas station at that point. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I'll tell you what. I was a little disappointed the other day. I was coming home. It was pretty late, and now I moved out of Manhattan, and it's pretty late. I got home around like I don't know 1-ish in the morning, looking for some food, a little late night snack. I figured the only thing that was going to be open was fast food, so I went down to where there's the McDonald's and the Taco Bell and Popeyes and everything. They're all closed by
In New
midnight.
York, the city that never sleeps.
They're all closed.
Dang, they did you dirty out there, man.
They did do me dirty. I know. It's okay though. We recovered. We made some late night snacks. It was delicious. And we had a good time. And it's gonna be a good time tomorrow. Football all day, starting at 9:30 in the morning.
Oh,
Granted,
baby.
not the best game at 9:30 in the morning, but it is football. And as we talked about right before this, it's technically prime time, right?
Yeah, we had to debate a bit whether technically it's prime time. It is a nationally scheduled TV game, but Broncos versus Jaguars inspires nothing in me. I am lifeless after that. The only besides it's in Wembley Stadium. It's the only cool thing about it, and even then, the poor people of England have been fooled into believing this is a good game, and they have to watch the Jaguars play against the bummy Broncos and terrible Russell Wilson. So it's a shame.
I'm mad. I'm mad at the Broncos and at the NFL. Too many primetime games for the Broncos. Like I get it. They're supposed to be good, right? And I get it. Russell Wilson, one of the biggest QB signings. They have good receivers, young defense. I get all that, but like the way they've been playing all season, you can't make some adjustments to the schedule. Maybe bump them off prime time one day. I don't know. There's just they can do that. They make changes to prime time all the time, especially later in the season when the games start to matter a little bit more. There were definitely some better games last week than who did the Broncos play? I don't even know who they played.
They played the Jets. That wasn't prime time though, thankfully.
Yeah, whatever the last primetime game was.
Yeah, no, I know. They were playing like the Broncos versus Colts. That was terrible. Yeah. It's like the Broncos
12-9 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, they keep giving us this mediocre product, and I do agree. I think that they should flex them off primetime. I think there's a rule though. You need, I think, 2 weeks advance to move primetime slots around. So especially early in the season, it might be a little too hard to gauge like what's going to happen. But hey, it'd be a tough time, man. Oh, look, we got a little fantasy trade. I trade away Josh Allen for DeAndre Hobson-Diggs. I lost Mike Williams and Jamar Chase. Well, first I'm gonna ask if it's PPR or if it's standard. But for just off the get-go, Jamar Chase thankfully did avoid an IR. So instead of missing 4 to 6 weeks guaranteed, it's looking like they're saying, hey, I want that bye week to count as one of the 4 weeks, which it would not if he was on IR. So maybe he can return week 11, week 12, a little sooner than projected, right before the fantasy playoffs. So PPR, okay. If you have a decent quarterback, or you can think you can stream someone, maybe a Jared Goff, a Geno Smith, Maybe if you're lucky, you have a backup like a younger rookie or a Tua. Check out Malik Willis right now. Is going to get his first fantasy start. That could be nice trading away Josh Allen for D Hop and Diggs.
That's a big.
Tua's on your bench. Tua's on your bench.
On your bench.
Trade away Josh Allen. Save your season, brother. Save your season. Get D Hop, Diggs, and you're ready to rock, bro.
I was about to roast you though, Fernando. You're talking like I was gonna say that's probably pretty good value of a trade there. If you're gonna trade Josh Allen at all, and you really are depleted at receiver, then it's probably pretty good value. DeAndre Hopkins is probably going to be the focal point of that offense now that he's back, and Diggs can do what he does. But you just made the argument that you'll be fine. You're going to drop Josh Allen, number one.
No, you're not dropping Josh. You are trading away D-Hop and Diggs.
You're going to let Josh Allen off of your team, a guy whose lowest scoring game is 23 points. Lowest scoring game is 23 points. And you're like, yeah, you'll be fine. Get Malik Willis.
You still get whatever Josh Allen does. You get Stephon Diggs. You get Stephon Diggs, bro. You still get that offensive production from Buffalo.
I know. I just think that in this situation, I still think it's probably a pretty good trade. Just because you really need the help at receiver.
You got Tua too, bro.
And you have just because you have Tua. But if your backup was going to be Malik Willis, who literally hasn't even started a game in the NFL, that's a big old difference than the surefire number one fantasy quarterback.
I meant like you get your good backup like a Tua, and then you can your Tua was supposed to be his high upside backup. I assume if he already has Josh Allen, so you can replace him with a guy like a Malik Willis if you want, or get a safer guy like a Geno Smith, Jared Goff. But because in my dynasty league,
I say trade. I say
take that trade in a heartbeat, bro.
And then when Chase comes back, you either have the nastiest wide receiver room in the league, or you trade one of them and fill another need, whatever that is at the time. So I say do the trade, roll with Tua, pray he doesn't get hurt, and don't pick up Malik Willis.
At least in my dynasty football league, bro, I'm trying to make a trade right now so I can scoop up Malik. But I feel like someone's gonna take him. It's gonna be a sad news to go.
I had a big trade this week in GA. I had we did a little superstar swap. I traded Devontae Adams and in return Josh Jacobs, little Raiders superstar swap. I needed running backs in a bad way. I still have good wide receivers, even though I lost Marquise Brown to the IR. Still have decent wide receivers with Mike Evans. Needed a running back. So did a little swap. I think that's a fair trade. Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, straight up. Rarely do you see a straight up trade, but we did it.
You're so dumb that like as soon as you gave that trade, like two people left the chat. They're like, this kid traded away Devontae Adams and got Josh Jacobs. I know you need running back, bro, but that's a tough trade, man.
What do you mean? He's the top 5 running back right now.
I get that.
Running like a top 2 back. He's performing better than McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor.
You're talking about Jonathan Taylor, who's been banged up, and McCaffrey was getting traded to a new team. Obviously, he's doing better than them. They haven't been playing. Okay?
Absolutely, he's doing better.
When they are playing, it's going to bump him back down. And I get it. He's inflated right now, but I don't know if I would edit that.
I needed the running backs.
You do need the running back. I understand that. So
I was starting David Montgomery and Jeff Wilson.
I understand that. So I know we switched up the show a bit. Instead of going for who's balling, who's falling first, and because of that fantasy question, and shout out TS,
yes,
we're sticking with fantasy fallout, boys. Do you have any other fantasy moves besides your interesting trades, Spencer? Or do you have any other fantasy tidbits?
I do. We're going to stick on wide receivers. One thing I want to call out to people, we're going to do Fumblebrewski tips here. I'm staying away from Broncos wide receivers.
Broncos country, do not ride.
Broncos country, let's not ride. Yeah. Let's get off the horse. I think we're gonna stay away. Oh, speaking of Broncos wide receiver, here's Justin with the question: who do you start? Pittman, Sutton, Olave, or Boyd? See, this is very interesting. That's a great question because you're hitting on all of my fantasy points here. Shout out to you, Justin. I think there's a clear answer. To this question. I stay away from Broncos wide receivers. Sutton and Judy, they're both good, both unreliable. The offense
Jags
just
winning for
isn't there.
sure.
Offense, yeah, I said the Jags are probably going to win. Offense just isn't there. The big passing plays are not there. Ripien's probably going to play. We'll see. Russ is still questionable. And then you have Jamar Chase down. So Tyler Boyd, clear step up. Had a big game last week.
Boyd's a clear
for
starter
more
there.
opportunities. Definitely bench Sutton out of those. Pittman, Olave, and Boyd. Absolutely.
Pittman, Olave, and Boyd. I would definitely say Olave and Boyd for sure. Those are two guys who are going to get a lot of targets, a lot of work. Olave, there's not a lot of competition in New Orleans. Even with a little bit of a quarterback shakeup, he should be fine there, and the kid is talented. Tyler Boyd, exactly, Spencer. No Jamar Chase means they're going to use him not only in the slot, but line him up all over the field, increase his workload, But the only thing that a little scares me with Michael Pittman Jr. is I'm starting him in a league over Benjamin, but Benjamin is supposed to get the starting workload now that James Conner's been out for the third week in a row, get more touches, a lot more carries, some goal line work. And Michael Pittman Jr. is going to have Sam Ehlinger starting for his first NFL start, sixth-round rookie. Sixth-round quarterback from 21 class. It's not a rookie, but it's not the best situation for him now that Matt Ryan's been benched for the year. So I'd for sure start Olave and Boyd. But then between Pittman Jr. and Eno, I'd have to see whether you're in a PPR league. I'd probably lean Pittman, just like you said, but I wouldn't be opposed to you playing Benjamin, Or that's whether you want to stomach some safer points with the running back or hope for the high upside that maybe Ehlinger either only targets Michael Pittman or he just can't get anything done and he can't get any offense going. So yeah, PPR.
That does happen sometimes. I think they're going to give Ehlinger, now that he's starting and hasn't had a chance.
It is a soft matchup though for the Colts, so Pittman could be nice.
And they're going to give him a chance to throw the ball a little bit. And I think, usually young quarterbacks go to their best receivers as their most trusted targets to start. People who they have the most faith will just catch the ball. So I think this might be, and it might be a nice reset for Michael Pittman. Not having a great year. The Colts were doing nothing with Matt Ryan there. Weird situation. Shout out to you, Justin. Great question.
Yeah, great question, bro. Thanks for feeding.
I say start Pittman though.
Yeah, I would say Pittman. I'm a big running back guy. So to me, I am starting Pittman in my dynasty league over Benjamin. But when I saw be that starting job, I was like, I'm still thinking about it to this day. So I appreciate the question, bro. Pittman, Olave, Boyd. Great time to ride, man. That's fantasy foul.
We're gonna keep it rolling.
I got a little tidbit in case anyone else has some questions. But before we move on, I like that trade we had talk earlier because it did hit something for me, and I do at the end of the day like your trade for Josh Jacobs, bro, because quarterbacks and running backs are a bit dead right now. So if you can sell like a Josh Allen and get some value at positions, that'll be good. You'll be streaming a bit, but most other players should be in the same situation unless they have a top tier quarterback. You don't really have a quarterback right now. Same with running back. So it's a little sketchy right now in the NFC football world. Wide receivers are king right now.
And obviously running back is a huge position. And when you don't have a reliable source of points at running back, really put your team in a big deficit there. So when I was starting 2 fringe running back 2s, was not looking good. But if I can get a top 5 running back in the running back room, it just keeps me in a way more comfortable spot at the running back position overall. And you know what I mean? I still have good receivers. I have Evans and Lockett still with Marquise Brown coming back eventually, hopefully sometime in the season. So I still think I think it was a good swap.
Yeah. Before we move on, I want to the next segment. I just want to finish answering his question. I'm not sure. Yeah, Mike Williams. Spencer, do you know how long he's out for? I know he's a bit banged up right now, but
I know, but that's what we have the interns for, right?
There we go. Spencer's by no means an intern, but hey, we
got at least 4 weeks with an ankle injury. Shout out to the intern Spencer.
Intern net, baby. We ride. So yeah, 4 to 6 weeks with an ankle injury, bro. That's a bit tough. Do you have the roster space to hold on to him? If so, I would, because adding him into a trade, that's a little bit more. I don't know, man. That definitely shoots the value, skews it a bit.
I wouldn't. I think that changes it. I would
Yeah.
do just
Could you
Josh
pair a
Allen.
smaller receiver? Say, hey, you're interested in Mike Williams. I don't want to give him up, even though he's injured. I'm making this trade because I'm down receivers right now.
Exactly.
So
Totally agree.
can I give you, for example, a guy who's going to move to my bench, like a flex or like a flex receiver or wide receiver 3 guy? That'd be who I try to, like Ayuk, try to keep pushing for Ayuk, maybe a guy one tier above if you do, but not Mike Williams. That's a little too high, a little too rich. And I'm not a big Chargers guy. I don't really like that offense, but Mike Williams and Josh Allen, that's a big boy trade right there.
I agree. I agree. I think that tips the scales a little bit. I mean, 4 to 6 weeks at this point in the season, that means Mike Williams isn't coming back till like playoff time for fantasy purposes.
Well, that might change my thinking though, bro. Like in that case,
So
see if you can get a little bit more from him. If he won't do anything else, be like, hey, I'll give you Mike Williams, but I might need a little bit more, because it is playoffs.
I mean, yeah, but you're losing. I mean, that means your Mike Williams isn't coming back till you're talking last week of the regular season for fantasy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most likely. It's tough. It's tough, and you do want to have him, I guess. So yeah, it depends how much roster space you have. I do think that really dampers the trade a little bit. I think you really upsell the value of Josh Allen there. Say by far the number 1 fantasy QB and like a super dependable source of points every week. I think you try to upsell there.
Yeah. I like this live question stuff, bro.
I know. I like this fantasy talk.
For here, Sudden Olave for Swift. I see you said you need an extra tight end. Irv Smith, I think, is a fine tight end to start this week. He's wearing 84, baby, Randy Moss time. Josh Palmer as an ad. We just talked about Mike Williams going down. I think as a vertical threat, he could be pretty nice for Justin Herbert. I totally blanked on his name for a second. So that could be a nice speculative ad. I don't know if you've got a 10 team though. This is
back to that. I don't think you do. I don't think
you don't need to add Palmer. There. I'd say.
I think running back is clearly the strength of your team here, and you need the wide receivers where you can. Plus, with how like fragile Swift is, I know he's good. Jamal Williams has been filling in very nicely as his backup. They're going to keep giving him the fair share so they don't hurt Swift too much. And even when they don't give him a full workload, he still manages to get hurt usually. So I think the risk there of giving up 2 receivers when receivers are already your weaker spot on the roster, I think you got to hold on there.
Yeah, I would definitely play Evan Ingram this week, just because, like that London game is always a little weird. So if you're going to get a piece of it, I'm not too confident Harrison Bryant's some target share, but Evan Ingram has been at least having like 8-9 point games. It's a total dart flex. Consider Irv Smith, bro. Like if you're playing a tight end, I'd consider Irv Smith not really making a move. I'd rather play him over Ingram or Harrison Bryant.
A big trade target. I'd target Pat Freiermuth in fantasy trades. He's on that. He's that like fringe top 10 tight end, but really getting a more regular, reliable share of tight end targets. I like him a lot.
Well, he is Travis Kelce, so that's
you don't need you don't need
Freiermuth in general though. That's a spot on call, bro. Like if anyone who needs tight end help, like that's a guy who you can snipe and you can get that'd be pretty nice.
Exactly, you can get him for a reasonable price because he's not up there with the stars of the tight ends. You can get him at a reasonable price, and I count on him to deliver at least 8 to 10 points in any given week in a PPR format. So I think. He's a good target if you need a tight end. You don't have to give up too much to get him. Yeah.
Freiermuth. I like that.
But we're going to move on to who's balling, who's falling. I got a big fallen right now. Green Bay Packers.
Hope that helped our guys.
I don't know what's going on. I wasn't too worried at the beginning of the season. But they don't look good. Allen Lazard's out this week. They just lost back-to-back games to the Jets and the Commanders, and now they're going on the road to play Buffalo, coming off a bye week. and their best receivers out, that does not look good for Green Bay. They have not looked good all year, haven't been in sync, haven't been able to put it together, and I think they might miss the playoffs. So,
Green Bay is. We'll talk about this more in primetime pick'em, but I was really excited for the Packers' expectations this season, and they've just not met it. I mean, I knew it was going to be a little bit of dampened expectations once they didn't add any receiver help really for Aaron Rodgers, and it really does suck that he's going down this path of no help. But it's also looking like he's become mortal, bro. He's becoming old, and it's no bueno for the Packers, man. They're starting to slide down. He's no longer, I think, he has the ability to be that quarterback who can elevate your team to win games that they shouldn't, but it's no longer an expected thing, I think, for Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know.
A dwindling bag of magic beans, bro. And sometimes he pulls out a good bean and sometimes he pulls out a normal bean, man.
It's hard for me to say where I stand just yet because I don't know. Because I don't consider it long enough to be like, yeah, he's fallen off clearly. Young team, not as talented as teams of the past, does make a difference, especially in the wide receiver position. I don't know if I'm ready to say that he's lost it, but we'll see. It is looking like that is a possibility. I mean, similar thing with Brady going on right now. I'm not ready to say that he's lost it. He's got a lot of other shit going on, obviously, with the divorce and everything, and that's clearly is taking a toll. I think he'll figure out the football part, because I don't think it's just like he's just getting old. You know what I mean? Maybe not. I think his life situation probably has to do a lot with it, right?
Yeah,
because he was one of the best QBs last year. Like, he was not aging at all.
I don't know. I truly do believe that Tom Brady is a man who knows his body quite well. And when he retired, he was saying, like, I'm done. Like, I know my body's out of it. The little, what was it, Schefter who reported his retirement first? I think it was more of like a pride thing with Brady. And he was like, no, I'm going to come back because I'm the one who decides when I retire.
Yeah.
And so he comes back, and Father Time was like, did you forget what I already told you, bro? You were done. You retired for a reason. And he came back, and it's just not there for him, bro. Like, Brady is truly, he's a 45-year-old man playing football. Like, it's like the fact that he's even out there should be commendable, but he's done, bro. He's done.
I don't know. That's a fast trigger. That's a fast trigger on the greatest.
When Giselle gave him the out of, said the ultimatum of, when she said, if you don't retire, like, we're divorced, and she gave him the ultimatum, and I was like, whoa, low key. Could this just be one big media play so that Tom Brady can have this out? Like, he's getting saved. Like, oh, I want to play football, bro, but it's time to retire, man. And it's not that I suck right now. I got to leave. But Tom Brady stayed, and he said
when he retired, they weren't sucking. What do you mean?
No, I'm talking about right now. She just gave him like an ultimatum earlier this week, like 5 days ago, 6 days ago, and was like, if you don't retire, one last chance. If you don't retire, we're done. We're done.
Yeah, I've been hearing.
He should have been so genius. He could have been like, I'm retiring, bro. I'm going to protect my legacy as a father and as a football player, and I will
say, I was talking about it with my brother earlier today, and Brady really did have a fast fall from like top of the top. I don't think he's done yet. I think there's a lot going on in his life right now that has not happened to him over the past 20 years, like not football wise. So I think that definitely has something to do with it. I don't think he's just lost like last year. We were saying like, oh, it's incredible. He's 44 years old and still one of the best QBs in the NFL. I don't think it's now he's old
in the NFL.
Now he's old and weak. I don't think it was that fast of a decline.
It happened to Peyton. Do you remember? Peyton went from balling. It happened to Peyton Manning. But Peyton Manning went from balling one year. He comes back the next year and it's absolute garbage. Like, I love you, Peyton Manning, but that last year was atrocious.
Last year was hey, he got carried to a Super Bowl though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's sometimes, bro. Father Time is not a graceful man, bro. It's not even that. It's like Think about it. It's like 6 months since they play football again. Like it's half a year. And like in terms of an athlete, that's an eternity. Think about it, even as a college student, bro, a semester is a lifetime. You know,
I'm
like
just not
think
ready to
about like
call it after 8 games. Not ready to call it after 8 games with the talent that the
he
Bucks have.
lost like 21-3 to the freaking
That was
Panthers.
a terrible game. And
He
probably
got
one
bodied
of
by
the lowest points of the career. No,
got
honestly,
bodied by
yeah.
the Ravens.
Yeah. Terrible
He's
loss
not
to the
right
Panthers there. They really did lose to the Panthers, who like everybody was saying are like for sure tanking. I mean, they are tanking, but like they're resetting. They're resetting.
Bryce Young season, bro.
They're resetting. That's a bad loss, but and they did just lose to the Ravens. They need to turn it around, but they're only 3-5. Their division sucks. They're still in the lead of their division at 3-5. No, well now the Falcons have a chance to take the lead. Falcons are 3-4 in a big division game against the Saints now, against the 2-5 Saints. Look at that. A big division matchup, a 3-4 team against a 2-5 team.
The NFC South is so bad. Such a garbage division.
And now jump into back to the NFC North. We were talking about the Packers before. Vikings are 5-1 and have a pretty good chance to go 6-1 this week. So that's going to be very interesting. It makes it they're playing the Cardinals this week. The Vikings, tricky game because the Cardinals
easy win.
Sometimes good, sometimes bad. I'm very low on the Cardinals. I agree.
Call of Duty just came out, bro. Modern Warfare 2 is up and running. You think Kyler Murray is studying game film right now? It's over.
No, hasn't studied since it dropped. Hasn't.
He hasn't taken his eyes off the screen since it dropped, bro.
I hear he's pulling 8-hour shifts, and then takes his break and goes to the Broncos. Goes to the facility. Now
Level 50 easy already, man. Easy. Too easy for young Kyler.
Yeah, I'm pretty low on the Cardinals. They've looked pretty bad. I don't think they like each other right now. It looks like Kyler and Cliff Kingsbury are not on the same page, aren't getting along. They're not just like producing points like they should be. Weird situation. Vikings have looked pretty dang good. If Dalvin can get back to the way Dalvin used to be, that would be great for my fantasy teams. I'm usually not one to put all my eggs in one basket, but I have Dalvin in 3 leagues this year, so I really need him to like step it up.
Oh, I feel you, brother. Like I've got Dalvin in my dynasty league, and I've held him longer than I should have. Particularly if you have a dynasty football league, I would say don't own a running back for more than 3 years because they start to get old. This is year 3 of Dalvin.
He's still top 10, like.
No, yeah, but he's 28. So like in the dynasty football world, like I can't even trade.
That's your prime.
No, I can't trade. Okay, like think about it. I tried to trade him for Jonathan Taylor. The guy asked for 3 first-round picks on top of that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's a bad trade for you.
No. Like he's like to even start talking about JT, and I get it. It's because JT is a 23-year-old in his 3rd year in his prime versus Dalvin Cook, who's had 2 ACL injuries. He's old. Like you don't trade for that.
That's reasonable.
That's what I'm saying. Like in dynasty, like he's still phenomenal. He's still a running back 1 for me, but he's no longer a tradable player because I won't get running back 1 value for him.
Yes. You in dynasty, you won't get as much value for him. All the injuries.
He's worth way more to me as a guy who drafted him a couple years ago than whatever I'm going to get for trading. It's like almost like a new car, bro. With a running back, that's the big problem. They're rookie running back, brand new car, bro. But once you start driving it off the lot, man, value starts tanking, bro. It's still good to you. It's still your favorite car. You know, it's still a beautiful thing you've maintained and cared for, but the value starts teetering off. It's very sad.
Yeah, but that's why these 1-year leagues, non-dynasty leagues, is just.
Dalvin Cook still and you redraft. I'm saying like it was still a phenomenal play.
Yeah, I'm leasing Dalvin.
Leasing Dalvin Cook, baby. Ride the miles. Who gives a fuck? So I think my last ballin', bro, is because you were making fun of him, bro. Malik Willis, young rookie. Congratulations on your first start in the NFL. Good luck. Best of luck. Do you even know who the Titans play?
Yeah, I did know who they played. I don't think they were very
Texans,
good.
baby. Malik Willis is gonna run it up on Long Neck Millis. Davis Mills season. Mills Mafia. I love you, brother. But Malik Willis is gonna show you what a true dual threat QB can do. The Liberty man is coming to ring the bells of freedom, and he's going to run all over the Texans, dot them up, throw it off, but mainly just hand it off to Derrick Henry and lead them to a win. And Ryan Tannehill, could this be the last snap of your career as a Tennessee Titans starter?
That was my
We
next
may not
question.
know, but you do remember that this is similar how Marcus Mariota lost his job as a tight end. A slight injury, a new step forth of a younger QB, and bada bing, bada bam. History was forever changed.
That was my next question to you, so I'm glad you brought it up. I'd put the concern meter for Ryan Tannehill at like 68%. That's where I put the concern meter. See, I think he's already not in a great way with the Titans right now. I think they're not very happy with him. He knows it's coming to an end. The relationship with Malik Willis and that whole situation has never been quite the smoothest between Tannehill and the Titans. If Malik Willis balls out, it is against the Texans. So if you're going to do it against any team, I mean,
division
probably
rival.
the Texans. But if he does ball out, I think there's a chance that they bench Tannehill at least for one more game. I don't think it's Tannehill's last snap. There could be a time later in the year comes back, but I think the concern is there for Tannehill. I think he might start talking to new teams shortly.
Oh yeah, I mean, granted, Malik did struggle mightily in the preseason. Okay?
Yeah.
And we know that Tannehill said he has not been teaching him anything. He said he's not a mentor. So I have to assume Malik Willis has been studying on his own. So we'll see how he plays.
Okay, question. Is Tannehill a starter if he leaves Tennessee? Say next year. We'll say
I'm trying to think of what team he could start on. Like I would start him on the Colts right now.
Colts. That's a good call.
They do love their veteran QBs.
He should go to the Colts. Absolutely, he should.
Okay, that is the early call. You heard it here
with
first.
A great running back and one. Oh yes,
you heard it here first, bro. Ryan Tannehill will be an Indianapolis Colt next week, baby.
You heard it first. Tannehill to the Colts. That's the trade I'm most looking forward to now. And look at that.
That's what we're seeing, baby. That's next year, baby.
That's we're seeing the future.
And before we move on, I was going to say, before we move on to the next segment, let's go back to a little fantasy thing. There, Spencer, you're reading my mind, bro. You're seeing the future as well, bro.
Exactly. So George here is asking, Jags or the Jets defense, right? He sees. Okay. We can get into Dolphins in a little bit.
Is Gesicki a better start over Dolchik? Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking Jags versus Jets. Jags have a nice matchup against the Broncos. Jets also have a pretty nice matchup against the Patriots. Don't think you can really go wrong there. Surprisingly, the Jags have been on a bit of a downturn the past 2 weeks. So maybe I lean the Jets. I think they both have pretty good matchups, whether it's a streaming option or not. They're pretty equal in my book. Maybe lean Jets, especially in a division game. And Jags are playing in London.
Yeah, so it's a little interesting. The Jets always play the Patriots hard, but Bill Belichick might want to whip up something crazy, and it might be a little scary. I hate betting against Bill Belichick just because he's a scary man. And you see, I'm a Dolphins fan, bro. He's burned us quite a many times. We've gotten him back evenly recently, but Bill's a scary guy. The thing with the Jags is there just seems to be that like uncertainty when it comes to just London games. It seems that they go crazy, bro. Sometimes the defense will just pop off, and we do think the Jaguars are going to win.
Usually low scoring, though.
Think about it. If there's a team that's going to be more accustomed to that time difference, it's going to be the Jaguars. They have a better fan basis in England as well. It's one of the biggest teams in Europe. I think it was the first game in the NFL Europe was Jaguars Dolphins. So they've got a massive fan base there. It could be more of like a home game for Jacksonville. That could be a nice play for the Jags D. And then the Dolphin stuff, man, I think Gesicki's a much better player than Dulcich. Dulcich, yeah. But at the end of the day, he just doesn't always get those reps. The Lions are not good at guarding tight ends. That's really their deficiency, especially in the red zone. So it could be a tight end day for Gesicki in the red zone, but Dulcich is a much safer play, I think, especially in a PPR league.
I was gonna say, I think, and yeah, Jags are a good play just because London games are usually lower scoring. Teams might be a little slow start off the gate. You mentioned jet lag, lots of travel, could be a low scoring affair. So that's always good for a fantasy defense. I was gonna say very similar things. Love Mike Gesicki. Do think he's more talented also and has the bigger upside, but his usage in the Dolphins offense right now, it's tough to start him. He gets a couple catches a game, and they're not afraid to go to him. I don't know what it is or why he doesn't mesh in that scheme well. But he really doesn't get as much usage as he should. And Ripien was really thrown to Dulcich a lot last week. So if Ripien plays, he was kind of using his tight end, as a big safety net there. He went to him a lot on third down just when he needed a completion. So I'd probably say start Dulcich this week. Again, especially in a PPR league where receptions count, I think he'll get more targets than Gesicki.
I agree. In that PPR play, I would definitely go for Dulcich over Gesicki. I have both of them in the league. I have them on my bench because I have Dallas Goedert, but
that hurt me a little to say because I love Gesicki.
Yeah.
And I honestly, in all fairness, did not know a lot about Greg Dulcich until last week.
He's a nice rookie. He's getting more reps. His snap's been increasing. Again, there's that uncertainty of that little London game, but it could play in your favor.
More targets. Gesicki just doesn't get the targets. He doesn't get the volume. Maybe he'll get you a touchdown, but he doesn't get.
It's a dart throw. I guess it depends on your team. Tight end is usually a position where I like some certainty, so I would always go Dulcich because 9 points, 8 points guaranteed. I don't want to get burned for my tight end position. But if you do need upside and you don't have it at running back or receiver, Gesicki could have a big game. He's a guy who I bet on to get 20 points over Dulcich. So we'll say ride Dulcich, but if you need the upside for some reason and it is Gesicki, you ride Big Mike.
But this is a great transition into primetime pick'em. We're going to start with the early primetime game, Jags Broncos, as we've been talking about. I'm going to keep it simple here. I think it's going to be a pretty boring game again. Not the most exciting matchup. Don't think there's going to be high flying big touchdowns. I'd wager to say the Jags take this one again. They're pretty comfortable playing in London. A lot of fans there. It'll be almost like a home game. I say they take this one 17-7.
17-7. Wow, that'd be a phenomenal play then for the Jags defense if you look at it that way.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's going to be a very ugly, low-scoring game. It's like I'm talking about like a 19-13 win for the Jaguars. Disgusting win. But 4 field goals and a touchdown for the Jags. And then, that's what I'm saying. Then a touchdown and 2 field goals for the Broncos.
Yeah, not
so good. Ugly. It's just like a disgustingly ugly game with 2 touchdowns overall and a bunch of field goals. I mean, the people in England will love it. They'll be like, yeah, field goal, kick it. Kick the ball. Exactly. Kick the ball. Goal.
They'll scream, exactly. Hey, there'll be more kicks that go in than in most soccer games.
Yeah, they'll be thrilled. They'll be like, this is what it's all about.
This is what it's all about. Moving to a better game, a little bit better. We got Bills-Packers Sunday Night Showdown. Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen. This one is especially hard for me because I haven't quite pulled the plug on Aaron Rodgers yet. So, part of me thinks that he's just bound to make it a close game and it'll be a thriller. And I was thinking literally along the lines 31-28 at first, Bills, but seemed bleak for the Packers. The Bills are rested. They're home. They're waiting. I think it is a blowout. I'm going 35-17.
Oh my God.
Bills.
No. Say it ain't so. Spencer. You as well. It's painful, my brother, bro. But honestly, the Buffalo Bills, they're hot right now. And the Green Bay Packers are not. And this is what I meant, but I was gonna save it for primetime pick'em. Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers, I am disappointed in you. You have robbed me of a great joy. I thought that this game was going to be a beautiful game. When I just looked ahead, I was like, God damn. Aaron Rodgers versus Josh Allen, Sunday night prime time. I was drooling, bro. And then you present me this last 7 weeks of buffoonery. And I realized that the Green Bay Packers are a mediocre team at best, Spencer. And now I have to contend with watching them on Sunday night. And I don't know what's going to happen. I think that the Bills are going to win. I think 38-21. It's going to freaking suck, man. It's going to be absolutely terrifying to see. I want us to get that win. I want us to be able to do better. I mean, well, I'm saying I want the Packers to be able to win so that the Bills can lose and the Dolphins can do better. But it's a shame, guys. Sorry, there's a little lizard crawling around there, a tiny baby one that I got to scoop up and throw outside. It's behind my bookcase now. And I think Spencer's computer died, so we're walking solo dolo. Na. Right now in the Fumblebrewski. Yes, that is right. Spencer's computer kicked and conked, but we're good to go right now. We're talking so far the primetime pick'em, the Bills, the Packers. It really is a shame that this should have been one of the best Sunday night slot games, but unfortunately it was not to be the case. I do think the Bills are going to whomp them. Spencer called it 35-17. I'm calling a nice little 38-21. I think 38-20. I think the Packers will try to put up some fight, but unfortunately the Bills are going to squash them up, and it's not going to happen for them. Well, here we got a Spencer. He has recovered it and saved it. I was just going over our Bills and Packers play, brother. How we doing, friend?
Well, we're doing good. We're back, little technical snafu back here on the phone, ready to finish off this session here. But yeah, Bills Packers.
It's our longest episode of the year, bro. No worries, man.
It is. I told you the computer can't handle it. It's old. The battery when it says 50 means 0. But we try. Sure
you held it down, brother.
All right. But yeah, Bills are gonna win. What was your final score prediction there?
38-20.
Oh, you also think it's gonna be a blowout? Wow, we're in sync right now.
It's gonna be very sad.
Yeah, Bengals Browns. How about that Monday night? Kind of interesting game, division game. Bengals gonna be without Jamar Chase there. Browns are 2.
Not an interesting game.
Browns are 2-5. I think they're a better team than 2-5. They had that one weird loss to the Jets. And I think they've been in some close games. Right now, the Bengals are favored, even without Jamar Chase. And I think the Bengals probably hold on, but these games are always tough. I think it's gonna be down to the wire. I'd probably say 23-21 Cincinnati.
33-21.
Yeah.
I don't think this game's gonna be that good, bro.
No.
I would love a 33-21 Cincinnati game. Unfortunately, man.
3-20.
What?
23-21.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely a little bit more in tune and more in jive what I was going for, bro. Dang, man. Why do we keep getting similar scores, bro? I hate you, man. I was going to go for 26 for the Cincinnati Bengals. They're barely going to get to 26. It's going to be really weird. Okay.
And we're doing.
And then the Clownville Browns, whatever. I can't pun that one out. The Clownville Browns. They're going to be out there scoring a paltry. I don't even know if this score is possible, Spencer. Okay. 16. Is it 26-16 possible?
Yeah, 8-8. The 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions, or a touchdown and 3 field goals.
Oh, true. Yeah. Okay, that's definitely a reasonable thing then. Okay.
Yeah, very possible.
All right. 26-16, ugly game.
Yeah, I would say 26 is a little tough. 3 touchdowns. Yeah, and not 2 field. Yeah, 26 is tough. Scorigami. How do you even get to 26? How do you get 26 points?
You can get to 20.
A lot of missed extra points, right?
What are we saying, bro? If we can get to 23, then you can get to 26. Just another field goal.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you are right. Well, that two touchdowns and 2 touchdowns while missing the extra point. Hey, it's possible. We're going for scoregami here, 26-16. I don't know if it is. But you have the Bengals also. Wow, we're really in line today. And our last primetime pick'em, Seahawks versus Giants.
I'm hoping this is the
Yeah,
one.
Seahawks and the surprising Geno Smith really giving himself a shot at revitalizing his career right now. Seahawks looking like real. They're chilling in the sun right now compared to this whole Broncos scenario where the Broncos are not having a good time. And they're the ones that bought all the expensive players and gave away all the stuff. And the Seahawks got all the stuff and sold the expensive players, and they're doing better. Yeah, they are chilling right now. Pete Carroll has the boys buzzing. And
the boys are buzzing.
It's going to be a good game. They're playing the Giants. What are the Giants? 5-1?
I think 6-1.
Incredibly 6-1. Incredible New York Giants. It's going to be a good game. How do you think this one plays out?
Dude, I've realized that I actually love the Seattle Seahawks. They're one of my favorite teams in the NFL. I thought I hated them, but it turns out there's only one guy I truly did not like on the team, and now he's failing as a Denver Bronco. Talking to you, Russell Wilson. Dangerous. Yep. Hey, I've done something dangerous. It's thinking you were a good quarterback one time. You're a little dangerous quarterback. But Mr. Limited is no longer there, and Geno Smith is the true Mr. Unlimited. So
Okay.
he, as Pete Carroll, who should be in the Coach of the Year discussion for what he's done for Geno Smith in that offense, the same team that was told by Russ that cannot win games is 4-3. And it's when they beat the New York Giants,
I'll say
it's going to be a fun time to see the Geno Smith resurgence continue to shine through, because rooting for Geno means I get to trash on the Russell Wilson and I get to make fun of the Jets who said Geno Smith sucks. Bada bing, bada bang. Double whammy whammy.
We're talking Coach of the Year. I mean, you got to look right across the field there. Brian Daboll and the Giants. I think that's got to be favorite for Coach of the Year right now.
Oh, 100%, bro. 100%. 27-24 Seahawks, by the way.
Be 6-1 out of nowhere. That's something to be proud of. It's going to be a tough game. Seattle's always a tough place to play. I think this is a big test for the Giants. Not much at stake. It's okay if they lose this game. But I think they might pull out a win here. I think it's going to be not an embarrassing win. Like, nobody's going to be mad at Geno.
Agreed.
I think Geno plays well. I think it's going to be a competitive game. I had this one pretty close and pretty high scoring. Seahawks have been in a lot of close, high scoring games as well. They have the offense going, surprisingly. Again, everyone thought no credit to Geno. And he's been running one of the top offenses in the league. I could see this one being pretty high scoring, maybe a 30, 35, 31 Giants if they can get up that high.
Huzzah. So there we have it. That's where we finally have our difference maker of the week, guys. You've got a 35-31 for the Giants, and I have a 27-24 in favor of the Seahawks. DK Metcalf is not yet confirmed to play, so I'm not too sure what they're going to do, but I do think this atrocious Seahawks defense is going to come ready for once. Let's ride. 27. Oh, why? I wouldn't even change it, bro. We're so dumb. Huh? 20.
What do we have?
We had the Browns.
Oops. Well,
27-24. Seahawks beating the Giants. Spencer, what do you got?
35-31 Giants over the Seahawks. And if not, it'll be 31-28 Seahawks. I think it'll come down to the last possession. Giants might pull it out in the last possession. But Fernando, I'm on my phone, so you're going to have to do this. Before I get into it, we got one. Are we going to do a last-minute fantasy question?
I'm down.
One more question, I think. Here we go. Should I trade DJ Moore and Damian Pierce for Jonathan Taylor? You got Swift.
Stephon Diggs, Amon-Ra, Keenan Allen, Gabe Davis.
That's quite the
B. Cooks, Wandell, and Curtis Samuel in a 12-man PPR. What a beautiful wide receiver core in a 12-man.
Then yes, I would definitely trade DJ Moore and Dameon Pierce for Jonathan Taylor. Absolutely. You can definitely afford to lose DJ Moore. Swift is a little fragile as is. We mentioned that earlier on the show. Definitely take Taylor. I think that's a no-doubter for me.
Yeah, I mean Pierce is pretty fantastic, bro. I would definitely trade more just because of the uncertainty in that offense. But my God, like it.
With those wide receivers, he doesn't need DJ.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could try to get greedy, but if you're really that short on running backs, man, like I like Dameon Pierce a lot, but Jonathan Taylor is still Jonathan Taylor. Like,
and Jonathan Taylor, okay, granted. See, I've had the converse of this argument because I was considering trading for Jonathan Taylor earlier this week. Right now, yes, injuries, hasn't played every week, but right now he's the 32nd ranked running back.
Rate buy low.
Based on stats, yes, definitely buying low because he still is Jonathan Taylor. That's why I think this is the right time to do it, especially when you already have a pretty full and pretty confident wide receiver room there. I don't think you need to have DJ Moore. And if you're low on running backs, nothing better than getting a guy that has all the talent to be the best running back in the league. So I think this is pretty easy. I know Dameon Pierce is good. But I think you got to buy low here on Jonathan Taylor.
100%. At best, maybe your receiving core a little better. I would say maybe one receiver a tier lower than DJ Moore and Dameon Pierce for Jonathan Taylor, and you can try to see if you can get a little bit better value. But if he won't budge from DJ Moore Pierce, I'd still say send it just because of how good your receiver core is. If anyone gives you flack for it, you say like I literally can't start all these receivers at the same time. It's impossible. And you need running backs.
I wouldn't budge if I was the other guy. I wouldn't get there for less than that. Probably
that's a good deal though, man. I'd say take it if that's what you got then.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at that, right on time too, right as we were about to close up. But Fernando, I'm gonna need your help. Spencer's Strange Sports. We're back.
You're a wild man.
We are back again. This was not too strange, and this is gonna include a personal shout out to a legend of the game. Okay, we're talking about Ultimate Frisbee today. First of all, everyone's talking Philly sports. You got to be talking New York. The New York Empire, bro, 15-0. Undefeated in Ultimate Frisbee. The reason I brought this up today, I just saw some old ESPN video on Facebook of top 10 Ultimate Frisbee catches. These diving catches, pretty sick. And there's one play in Ultimate Frisbee that I've always wanted to see in football. Have you heard of the greatest?
No.
So it's one of those plays where if you're like running to the sideline, right? You're not going to catch the ball in bounds. So you like jump while you're still in bounds and like throw it back to one of your teammates.
Yeah, like a hook and ladder play.
But while you're in the air out of bounds.
Yeah.
There's been like plays in the NFL where some guys jumped and like tipped it back into the field and they intercepted it. But I think they should do more of that in the NFL. There's always opportunities to give a little jump out of bounds, catch and flip. I think there's a lot of chance for that. But shout out to Ultimate Frisbee and shout out to the real legend. He goes by the nickname Tractor. Never played professionally. Could stand at a whopping 5'6", 5'7". And be talking to you on the screen right now.
Tractor.
That was my Ultimate Frisbee nickname, Tractor. I was a legend. Caught everything.
That's crazy. I would destroy you in Ultimate Frisbee, brother. It's not even a question.
No,
I can't throw worth a lima bean, bro. But you send me on a streak, papa. I'm the most physical Ultimate Frisbee player of all time, man. My ball mentality in Ultimate Frisbee, you call me Megatronitron, bro, out there, man.
I've seen you throw a football. No way you can throw a Frisbee.
Oh, no, I can't throw, bro. That's what I'm saying. You got to send me on the deep streak, and I'm the only person who will actually get up there and throw some elbows to get a freaking Frisbee, bro.
I had a similar problem. Not of being too aggressive. Obviously, that's not my play. But
not at all. You know me, Spencer. When you lack skill, you got to make up with aggressiveness, bro.
See, but I don't have that aggressiveness inside me. So what I lack in skill is made up in I call it teammate abilities. I'm a team player, you know. I'm there.
I thought you were at least gonna say heart or something, bro. You can't tell me teammate ability. My best ability is knowing how to use my teammates.
Hey! I will support them until the end, bro. I'll keep them so happy they'll think they're the best freaking players on the planet. And you know what? At the end of the day, I helped. It's all about where your contributions lie, right? Where you're needed. I'll make a play every now and then. Won't make many plays and won't make consecutive plays most likely, but I'll make a play every now and then. Especially in Ultimate Frisbee, I could be the greatest ever.
I am the greatest.
And I think that's where we end it. Just two Ultimate Frisbee legends having a chat.
Just hashing it up, bro. Maybe next time we'll have to talk about some hacky sack, bro.
Giving me good ideas. I like this. Spencer Strange Sports will continue. Don't worry.
Hey, I always give you a smirk when the segment starts, bro. But you always suck up, dragging me into the conversation, brother. And it's a talent only you have. So
Always
I'm proud of you, Spence.
Always is a fun one. We'll continue to be fun on future episodes. Thanks for joining us today live. Had some nice fantasy discussion back and forth. Tweet us your questions, comment your questions. And as always, like, comment, subscribe. Follow on Twitter at Fumblebrewski. And enjoy the football this weekend. Starting early. Set your lineups early.
Set your lineups early, baby. Check us out Saturdays for your little last-minute startup questions. Tuesdays for your last-minute waiver wire stuff, fantasy football, the whole NFL game predictions. And Spencer, we're amazing.
As always, it was a pleasure.
Bada bing, bada bam.